So many fouls and stoppages each way. How did you guys kind of keep it centered and ultimately pull back in that fourth quarter?
It was a hard game, I think, for both teams to get into a rhythm. And this is not, again, this is just a reflection on the game. This is not a critique of the officials. I actually thought they were consistent tonight, which is all you can really ask for. I think both teams have gotten used to playing a certain way in terms of physicality, and the game was just officiated differently. And that's not to say it was officiated poorly or if it was officiated great. It was just officiated differently. And so I think both teams just kind of got stuck in that cycle of this is how we've been taught to guard off-ball screens, and there was just a lot of touch fouls tonight, and it kind of disrupted the flow, I think, for both teams. I would say you look at that game, and a few things stand out. Number one, we didn't have our best stuff. I told you at halftime. I didn't realize it till I woke up this morning. I wake up at 6:30 every morning. I woke up, and I was like, it was like a bus had hit me. And the cumulative effect of 3 of 4 nights, getting into a city at 3:30 a.m. Thank you, schedulers, for that. But the effect of that has a toll. It has a toll on the body, and I thought we came out flat. So we responded during that second quarter. We got ourselves going. The other thing was we had stretches where we played really good, and we had stretches where we played really poor. Our group is so connected right now. We were able to get back together, and there was no quitting. There was no splintering. It's a connected group. And the last thing I'll say is, I thought Rui made the 2 biggest plays of the game. Bo and I always joke, it's remarkable. He can go 8 minutes of a game, which sometimes can be 30 minutes of real time, not touch a basketball, literally not touch a ball, and then just bang a wide open 3. And he made that 3, which was huge. And then the charge on Wemby, I looked it up, his 8th charge of his entire career, and that, at least in my opinion, was the biggest one yet. So 2 big plays from Rui.
Looked like you threw all kinds of different looks at Wemby and saved a couple of the blitzes late, and there's a one where he kind of throws it in the lane and Luka gets it. Yeah. What was the strategy, just kind of when you were switching up coverages on him?
No, we were consistent with our coverage. We didn't change any coverage on Wemby. We changed a little bit of stuff on Castle at one point just to keep Luka away from that matchup where potentially could have picked up his 6th foul. We mixed in some zone when Wemby was off the floor. We did fire one time and Sohan hit the corner 3. But with Wemby, they did a really good job of making sure he caught at the elbow. Mitch is a great coach. He knows what we do on the side, and it's harder to double when you catch it either at the nail or the elbow. And that play that we got the turnover when Luka stole it and got fouled, that was in that mid-post area. So that's just our normal defense.
Luka only shot 33%, had some turnovers. It wasn't his sharpest game, but as you mentioned, you kind of found pockets where if the game got away from you, you could get it back. What did he show you tonight in the second half, particularly with obviously missing Austin again?
Yeah, I would say for him, and for the group, the word of the day is resiliency. And I thought he showed that in the second half, playing through some foul trouble, playing through what quite honestly was a frustrating, abnormal offensive night for him. He stayed with it. I thought the focus level with both the referees, Rachel, and the focus with the referees, and just the focus with his teammates and just getting on to the next play. And without Austin, without LeBron, his teammates are looking to him to kind of keep that resolve and keep that positive disposition, and he was able to do that throughout the game, which, look, that's an area of growth, and I thought he was great with that tonight.
So you touched on this a little bit. You've used 7 starting lineups already. I'm pretty sure this time last year you hadn't had to deviate yet from your opening night lineup. How are you feeling about being able to scratch out wins with, different lineups literally every game at this point?
Yeah, I told you guys you were obsessed with the wrong thing during preseason. This is just the reality of the NBA. There's going to be so many soft tissue injuries. This is the reality of the NBA. We're going to start the group that makes sense for that night, and we're going to hopefully find a way to win.
JJ, you talked about Luka and his resiliency. Defensively, I think 5 steals today, 2 blocks. Like, what did you see from him on that end of the floor? And also just throughout the season, where do you feel like his defense is right now?
Yeah, there's been a couple games where he's gotten off to a slow start defensively, just in terms of his physicality and engagement. But overall, I think it's been really good. And to have 5 steals and 2 blocks on a night when you're in foul trouble, still staying active, still participating. Like there was nothing. There was a couple times, he gets switched on to Wemby, he gets switched on to Castle. He's in a closeout with Vassell. There wasn't matador defense. He's still guarded, and that was huge. The reason we won the game, you can look at singular plays, you can look at whatever. The reason we won the game is because we guarded in the fourth quarter, and our fourth quarter defense was the number one reason we won the game.
You just mentioned the chemistry of the group and sort of the connectedness of them. And you also mentioned all the lineup changes back and forth. Those two things don't usually go together. This group feels, you just watch them on the floor and they feel like such a unit and they like each other so much. And we saw some of that last year, but we didn't see it all the time. Can you name what's different this year or why from the very start they have felt like, they like playing with each other out there?
It doesn't always work this way, but sometimes the things you emphasize and the things that you make a daily priority becomes your team. And that doesn't always happen, but that was a priority for us coming into this season. And whether it's been, some off-court activities, the Pechakucha, we're just constantly encouraging and empowering our guys to get connected. I believe that if you're connected off the floor, you're connected on the floor. So, you need buy-in to that. So it's not, I'm not trying to take credit for my staff here. It's the guys on the team. They're bought into that, and they're bought into being a like a group, together group. And it's fun to coach. It's really, it's awesome.
James, sometimes you got to have eyes in the back of your head.
I was wondering what he was going to do there, because it looked like he got stuck on the baseline in a double team and somehow found that open man with the weirdest pass over his shoulder. It's a big bucket. Nice pass. Bucket.
DeAndre Ayton scored 22 points. He had 10 rebounds. He's with Allie Clifton.
DeAndre, a game that took nearly 3 hours, came down to the final second. What did this one take from you guys?
Togetherness, not getting deflated by, the environment and the concept that was thrown at us. Calls wasn't going our way, but, we stayed together. And, that's the main thing, being in tough games and games not going your way, especially when you're at home, is just, you just got to come together and just really stay solid. And the game went in favor for us, staying solid. And, we stopped the fouling down the stretch a little bit. And, it was a free throw type of game. And, that's what it comes down to when you have two great teams playing against each other.
When it comes to that level of connectivity amongst this team, though early in the season, no matter who's out there, who's not out there, why have you guys been able to find that success early?
I'll give my hats off to JJ. JJ and the staff just been pushing us. Regardless who's out there, they've been doing it since I got here. From training camp, from the months I've been in the summer in the gym, he's been the same guy. And, he's just been every day just drilling it in our heads, having that championship mentality, championship shape, championship communication. And, that's our motto, and that's what we've been going by, and it's super contagious. The guys who are out, they work their way up to come back and play, come in the lineup, and it's like they never left.
When you guys are not shooting it great as a collective, how much confidence does it give you that you can basically win the game on the defensive end?
Gives a lot of confidence because we're not really dependent on our offense. JJ really wants us to have our defense, create our offense, and that's what you see in glimpses of us, in Spurs having our runs and, getting stops and, crowd getting into it. That really gave us that boost as well.
At shoot-around this morning, you said you didn't really want to overemphasize any game other than the other, right? But clearly, pregame, you had some pep in your step, and the building was feeling it.
I wasn't paying attention. That's every game. I'd be dancing and all of that.
Okay, well, how about this then? The building was here to celebrate the Dodgers. You guys get to end a homestand before you go on a long road trip. all those factors considered, like, how does this feel for a group win to get this? You're 7-2 to start the season.
I ain't gonna lie. Seeing the Dodgers, the champions, walk in here, they put a little pressure on me. I was a little nervous. I was like, dang, just actually seeing them in person, I've been watching them through a glass, all season. But yeah, it was definitely some pressure, and the crowd was into it. So, it was definitely something to put on for the fans and, leave them home happy.
You got that alley-oop in the third quarter when I think y'all were down, close to double digits. That started to turn the game around. Like, what's it like for you to get down the floor, finish that play, force timeouts, and have them, figure out what's happening with y'all?
Piggybacking off our defense. That was a defensive stop, and, Luka threw the ball in. I just ran with him, honestly, and it was a great pass by him. But that's mainly our point, just it was 1 through 5, and, we wanted to turn them over, We got a lot of calls, but it eventually worked out in our favor, playing physical and playing in that type of game and making it a free throw game as well.
You weren't in foul trouble. Like, there was 3 dudes on the other team fouled out, 3 dudes on your team who had 5 fouls. How did you, starting center, play so well defensively against Wemby?
Man, that's not 1 through 5, man. That's not 1 through 5, man. That's not 1 through 5. That's something I've been wanting to show, especially to my coaching staff as well. And, they trust me, to really go out there and guard 1 or 2 dribbles, before my help come. And yeah, I'll be good. I'll be comfortable out there. I know my help coming, so I'm straight.
17 points for Marcus Smart. The Lakers have now won 7 of their last 8 games, including 5 straight. More reaction ahead from this 3-hour basketball game with 6. Laker fans, time to celebrate. Your Lakers won the game, scoring you 2 free tacos with any drink purchase from Jack in the Box tomorrow. Just ask for the Lakers deal when you order, valid only at Los Angeles restaurants. Go Lakers and go Jack. Marcus Smart with 17 points. He's with Allie Clifton.
How do you feel just like putting yourself in the middle of so much over the course of a full game? Like,
it's part of my resume, just making an impact on both sides in any way that I can. So, that stat right there was crazy, a flagrant, a tech, but it's part of the game. And, my teammates trust me enough to go out there and, impact the game the way I do.
Do opponents feel that too? Like, did you hear any kind of shatter feedback because you just are in the way?
Yeah, you hear it all the time. Guys would rather play with me than against me. So that's compliment to my game. What I bring to this table, the energy, and the way that I work.
When they have so many stoppage in the game, I think it was 66 fouls, 84 free throws.
I think the game took 3 hours in regulation. It's crazy, right?
Right. And how do you maintain just making sure you keep the pace right? You don't get out of sorts. You
just stick to the game plan, stick to the game plan and you let your instincts do what they do best. And, we have a great group of guys who IQ when it comes to basketball is really good and we trust one another and we continue to stay on our course and listen to coach and the game plan and follow it all the way through.
Obviously, you're known for your basketball IQ, the play late where you stepped on the line. Did you even what was your reaction when you found out from the ref that was the call?
Couldn't believe it. I think when I released the ball, they said I stepped over. I'm like, we see the play all the time where a guy gets the ball out quick and his leg is like this and he's still over inbounds and he throws the ball in. There's no call. But to have that call at the end of the game, 1.2, we got a guy wide open. All you do is catch the ball, game's over. It's kind of crazy, but as a 12-year vet, I can't make that mistake. I can't even put the call or the ball in their hands to have that call called against us. So I take full ownership of it. My teammates understand. They're going to joke with me. They're going to let me hear about it. But it'll never happen again.
You've been around this league long enough to understand that chemistry, camaraderie can take some time. What's impressed you most about the connectivity you guys have found early?
Really just how quick we were able to connect. We had a lot of guys, unlike other teams where we didn't have a lot of guys here in town in the summer working out. We had kind of sprinkled everywhere. Damn, DA, can I talk? Man, you all loud. Sorry, guys. Big 5 over there, you know what I'm saying? But we didn't have that luxury. So for us to be able to come out the way we have with the chemistry, being able to trust one another the way we are, that means a lot. And I think that right there is the biggest thing that we take to that.
All right, we see the Fantastic Four on Wednesday. You got Luka with 35, Ayton with 22, Rui with 15, and Marcus Smart with 17. Again, the contributions, the balance have been the key during this 5-game win streak. And Rob, how are we feeling about it?
We're going to show you how the defense...
Yeah, what are you going to break down, Rob, defending Wemby?
Yeah, we're going to show you what this defense did for them tonight and how they were able to hold off the Eiffel Tower, the new Eiffel Tower. And so the thing about Wemby, you always got the body. See Jackson Hayes, he keeps his hand on body. Now right here, this is really key. On an offense, you got to stay in the pocket. He gets back. Ace is able to help and recover and get back. The best thing about this, he stays in front. Stand down, stay in front, hand up. Now he's going, which way you go? He hesitates, but he still plays as well. But look, right here, you got connect 4 right there on the elbow to help out, and then a good contest in the quarter. This was like everything you see is always putting the body on your body. Even when you get Junior, who's the shortest man on the floor at the time,
he did all right,
maybe second shortest because Bronny James again. Look, body. Not someone tell him take 2 hands off, but he's still body up. But look, this is the craziest part. Everybody's on the right side of the floor. Go left, young man. But he decides to go to the strong side. There's like 5 Lakers around there. It's a good contest by Rui, and he misses. You got to understand, look and observe the defense. If he goes left, he might have scored. Now this one is like, it's bananas to me. Because now, look, there's 5 Lakers around him. They put a fort around him, like Fort Knox. Like everybody's like you could have got the rave for being 3 seconds, but look, they're keying in on him on defensively, and like we get a good contest. Now this was one of those crazy moments when like now Rave is gonna come over and I'm gonna contest this. A great contest, but the ref calls a foul, we review it, he did not foul him. Now everybody's in the paint. Where's Wemby? You gotta find him. This is great. DA gets out there early because we know Wemby can shoot threes. Now look at Rui. He's spying this. What do? I'm gonna get over here, and this is a key of the game. He's out the restricted area. He's right there, set up perfectly, protecting himself, and he takes the charge. And that was what? 6 foul. But look, that's the best shot of all night right there. Mookie Betts. Telling everybody there was a charge on that play.
With his 4 rings.
So that's the best thing about when you play a guy like that with his size. You got to make him feel you the whole night. And you just got to body, and make him tired.
Great breakdown, Rob.
Yes, sir.
It only took 3 hours to get there, but a huge win for the Lakers over the Spurs. We're waiting to hear from Luka Dončić, who scored 35 points. The Lakers have now won 5 straight.
Luka, we should probably lead with your defense, right? The 5 steals, 2 blocks, helping your teammates.
Finally. That's the only good thing I did today.
Well, some of the shots weren't going in, but for real though, defensively, what has your focus level been this year? Where do you feel like you've been able to contribute on the ball, off the ball, and how do you feel like that's been essential to the team?
I mean, first of all, just communication, getting the people in the right spot. A lot of times I'm low man, so I got to communicate that. I got to put people in their spots. But then just the activity. I think it's better. I'm more focused and just got to keep going like that. Stop falling.
You guys had another challenge tonight. 3 games in 4 nights. Austin can't play. You figure out a way to get it done in the second half, even falling down double digits in the third quarter. You guys 7-2, about to head out on this road trip. Like, what's your feeling about this group at this stage?
The feeling is I'm enjoying very much playing with these guys. Like you say, our AR can't play. We're still missing Bron. So this team has a big potential. But everybody steps on court. Gives maximum, man. Everybody. So it's very enjoyable to play.
Luka, JJ was talking about like the chemistry of this team and especially the way it's kind of built so quickly. And then you mentioned something about Pecha Kucha. Did you do yours yet? Like, what did you share on yours? And why is that helpful for you guys?
I don't know if it's helpful. That's in JJ's mind. I didn't mind. It was probably the worst one. We had some good ones. I think the coaches do a better job than the players. They know how to talk. But we had some good ones. DA went today, was good. Yeah, I didn't do a good job, probably. You should ask JJ. I don't know what his honest opinion is about my Pecha Kucha.
Yesterday, somebody asked Victor about playing you, and I have the quote here in front of me, but he said that you're one of the hardest players to scout because you understand and master the game more than anyone else. I'm just curious, kind of, he's I believe, going to turn 22 in January. What's it like playing against him now, and what do you think it's going to be like playing against him as he understands and masters of the game?
Yeah, I mean, I already think he did, but obviously, his third year in the NBA, and he's playing at MVP level, which is insane. So, you know, I have much respect for him, much love, and I really enjoy these games. You know, playing against him, it's very tough. Guarding him and going against him in offense is very tough. But I think he's going to improve more. So it's always fun to play against guys like that, and I have so much respect for Wemby.
All right, most points through the players' first 5 games of the season, and you see Wilt Chamberlain at the top, and then you see Luka with 200. Then it's Michael, Jack Twyman, 1959.
Jack Twyman getting busy.
And then MJ,
who he
Rick Barry, in 1966, get it done. Mm-hmm. Not familiar with his game, but congrats to
Jack Twyman.
To Jack. 5-game road trip, big game. Keep it going.
Early games for us.
Yes, that's always nice.
You know, get your mind together. You know, get everybody in sync. You know, get everybody healthy. Get on the road. They play well on the road. They play good defense on the road. So keep that going, man.
Keep striving.
Yeah. Keep on reaching.
Yeah, because there's a lot of moments that they had where they could have been better. So, and it's still early in the season. Not much practice time. So they're getting better.
Where's our jerseys? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Got these jerseys from the Lakers tonight, too.
Hey, the best thing about these jerseys, y'all, is we got our names on the back of these jerseys.
Back for Rob, James, Allie,
everybody
Mike.
should have named on the back of their jersey.
I'll see you
on the back of your jersey
on Saturday.
Disrespectful. Disrespectful.